Welcome to this stop on the creation trail, and as you can see we're right outside Binsted School, and the thought today is coming from one of the Psalms, one of the wonderful Psalms about God's creation. It's Psalm 8, and this is what it says. The verses I'm reading are this: I look at your heavens which you made with your fingers. I see the moon and stars which you created. But why are people even important to you? Why do you take care of human beings? You make them a little lower than the angels and crowned them with glory and honor. You put them in charge of everything you made. You put them all things under their control. All the sheep, the cattle, and the wild animals. The birds in the sky, the fish in the sea, and everything that lives underwater. Lord, our Lord, your name is the most wonderful name in all the earth. A glorious reading about the extraordinary creation that God has made in our world. And I often think of him, just the joy of creation as he threw a planet out into the universe, as he created it. And of course he then created our world. Not only creating the world, which is an extraordinary thing in itself, but then all the life that is in the world. The animals, the birds, the fish, the insects, everything under the ground and over the ground and in the air. And last of all, he created us, human beings. And most extraordinary of all, he has asked us to take care of everything he has created, to be the guardians of his wonderful creation. So, how do we begin? How on earth can we, little people, make any difference at all in looking after what God has created in his might and his power and his glory? Sometimes it just seems overwhelming. Is it even worth trying to start? It's so huge. Well, the answer is that we can make a difference, however small it may seem. And there's a really lovely story that helps us focus on that. And it's about an old man who lived by the ocean, and every day he would walk along in the morning, just pausing and reflecting and watching what was going on in the ocean and on the land. And one day as he was walking, he saw a young boy walking towards him in the distance, and every so often he would stop, bend down, pick something up and throw it into the sea. And as he got close, the old man called to him and said, "Young boy, may I ask what it is you're doing?" The boy looked up and he said, "The ocean has washed all these sea starfish onto the beach, and as the sun gets high and hot, they will die unless I throw them back into the ocean to survive." And the old man looks and he says to him, "Don't you see, there are thousands of starfish on this beach. You really won't be able to make a difference." Without saying anything, the boy stoops down, he picks up a starfish and he throws it as far as he can out into the ocean. And he looks and says to him, "I made a difference to that one, didn't I?" And that's such a good lesson for us to learn, that however huge the task is, if we make a start, if we take a step, however small it may seem, we will make a difference. There are so many people on this crowded planet that if we all do something, we can help look after God's creation. And it's not just the animals and all of wildlife. He asks us to look after the environment, to take care of the planet. There are so many raging fires around the world caused by warming. There are so many floods that we read and see about. And it is all work that we can contribute to remedying, to stopping the damage. So when we think, how do I begin? What steps can I take? It may seem just impossible, hardly worth starting. But fortunately here in Binsted and in this part of Hampshire, we've got an amazing organisation called the Binsted Eco Network, who publish a monthly newsletter and have all sorts of ways of encouraging us and showing us steps that we can take, we, our families and our friends can take, to help protect God's extraordinary creation. So let's all take a small step, however small it may be, and do as God has asked us, look after His amazing creation. Enjoy the rest of your creation trail.